Hey everybody, how's it going? I am your host Adrian, coming to you almost live from lovely Petaluma, California, here in Studio MC2 at Quicksurf Internet Studios. The Geekinator is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. Do feel free to head on over to techpodcast.com and check out all the other technology-related shows over there as well. I'd like to encourage everybody to visit us online over at quicksurf.com. Please do subscribe to the show if you have not already done so. And if you have, thank you for subscribing. Or if you've been a longtime subscriber, thanks for staying subscribed. And you can also catch us over on Stitcher. We redistribute the show on YouTube, blip.tv, and Dailymotion as well. So trying to get it out to as many distribution points as possible for those of you who have a preference as to how you get it. You can also just subscribe directly, as I stated before, using your podcatcher or mobile device of choice. The show notes for every episode has a subscribe heading, and you can subscribe to the OGG Vorbis feed and an MP3 feed and both the standard def and high def H.264 video feed. So feel free to get your subscribe on. If you're not subscribed to the format that you want, and by all means, you can either, if it's something that I don't already provide, you can either request it, geekinator at quicksurf.com, which is where you should send all website feedback as well, or you can go there and unsubscribe and subscribe to the feed that you'd like to subscribe to. So before we get into the cool stuff that I found for this episode, I just want to provide a quick update on the whole Google Reader thing. I did my show note preparation using Feedly, and it works reasonably well. Somebody sent me an email. Most of the feedback I've had has been with Feedly. My concern with Feedly is when they do decouple from Google Reader, it may not go nearly as well as we all had hoped. So somebody from the audience also suggested NewsBlur, which is open source, which sounds interesting. I've yet to check it out. I do plan to do that here in this next upcoming week, and largely because, and I kind of announced this on the sister show, Linux News Log, is I'm seriously considering writing a web-based feed reader for my own uses, and I would be willing to make it publicly available, or at least available to select audience, if you will. So shoot me an email, geekinator at quicksurf.com, if that's something you're interested in doing. I can tell you right now, if I were to do something of that nature, it would probably be written in Java, since I'm a Java developer, and that's the fastest way for me to get stuff done. It'd run as a servlet on an instance of Tomcat. I do have a web server here at the house that runs Apache Tomcat. So if I were to make this publicly available, I'd have to find a servlet hosting provider to do all this. I don't really want to scale it up to massive scale or anything, but it'd be definitely something that if I could get it to work relatively easily and quickly, and a lot of the stuff I've already got written for other applications, so it should mostly be writing some glue code to glue some stuff together and getting a web interface together. So we'll see. So anyway, shoot me an email, geekinator at quicksurf.com, if that's something that you sound interested in doing. And with that, let's go ahead and get into the cool stuff for this episode. Over at Uber Gizmo, Intel and Hillcrest team up for set-top boxes. I'm actually a little confused by this article. Intel historically has never done well making hardware other than like processors and that sort of thing, chipsets, that sort of thing themselves. They are primarily a hardware company, and when it comes to set-top boxes, the hardware is important, but even more importantly is the user interface. So I'm a little, I don't know what to make of this. They're working with Hillcrest, which is Hillcrest is providing the free space motion control technology as part of its new reference design kit for IPTV set-top boxes. in addition to media servers. In fact, the world's largest microchip manufacturer, Intel, will be offering the set-top box reference design to TV operators and OEMs with some nuances of free space motion control technology underneath the hood. So I can understand this. I don't really think Intel will succeed if they try to directly make and market a set-top box, for the same reason that they would not be successful if they tried to directly market and make a computer. It's not their bread and butter. It's not their set of expertise. Not only that, but they tend to be really low margin items. The whole computer itself tends to be a really super low margin item. I mean, Intel does make motherboards, CPUs, and chipsets, and you would think, well, it's not that much more to kind of put the rest together and do that. But that is not traditionally something that they've done really well in, making the whole tamale. Partially because they try to get fancy and provide like custom software and stuff. And once you start getting into software, unless you're somebody like Apple, software is not Intel's forte. Let me just put it that way. From i4U News, Samsung Galaxy S4 is super fast according to benchmarks. That's right. It has been released, and apparently the quad-core Qualcomm Snapdragon 600 1.9 gigahertz processor is super fast. So be kind of interesting to see what comes of it. I'm curious how fast it is. From Uber Gizmo, Curiosity Mars rover hit by a computer glitch again. That's right. The Curiosity Mars rover that hails from NASA is extremely far away from home and will see out the rest of its remaining days on the red planet. But not all is fine and dandy because it has been hit with another computer glitch. This glitch is preventing it from resuming its science experiments. According to the mission's chief scientist, Curiosity entered safe mode yet again throughout the entire weekend, no thanks to a computer file error. So this is unfortunately incredibly bad news. As in safe mode, all activities are going to remain on hold, although Curiosity will be able to maintain its contact with us here on planet Earth. So it looks like there's some unforeseen occurrences going on with the electronics and the hardware, which unfortunately is always the case. It seems, when it absolutely cannot fail, there's a reason why you double up and you have two. It's because one inevitably at the worst possible moment will fail. From Geeky Gadgets, AT&T announces new 30, 40, and 50 gigabyte shared data plans. That's right. If 4 gigabytes of data is not enough for your shared data plans, AT&T has announced some new and incredibly expensive shared data plans with huge amounts of data. The plans are aimed at businesses with multiple users on a single data plan. However, there's no reason your typical consumer can purchase these plans if they are so inclined. They're upwards of $300, $400, $500 a month, which sounds absurd. But when you factor in, paying individual plans for individual phones, this is actually pretty cheap. So, definitely check it out, especially if you have a lot of devices. From Mashable, would you rather have a Google Glass or a SmartWatch? That's the question posed by this article. It's a poll. Personally, I don't really want either one, but given a choice between the two of them, I'd rather take the watch over Google Glass. And the reason why is it's a lot more socially acceptable to look at your wrist than it is to have this thing on your face that, can constantly be, bad news. So in my opinion, it's way more socially acceptable to have a watch that's smart, where I can, instead of having to, if I've got my phone in my pocket and I'm sitting down and I have to go and fish the thing out, I can just look at my watch and kind of, do some quick, on my watch to, maybe, hack out a quick, response, or just check to see, oh, it's from mom, I'll read it later or whatever, right? So, I mean, it's definitely, I would very much rather have a watch than Google Glass, even though I don't really find the watch that attractive. They'd have to come up with some way of making that small screen useful. But time will tell to see what is going on with that. From Geeky Gadgets, Huawei, I don't know how to pronounce that. The MediaPad 7 Vogue has been leaked. There's another new Android tablet in the works, the Huawei MediaPad 7 Vogue, which will come out with Android 4.1 Jelly Bean and a 7-inch display with a resolution of 1024 by 600 pixels. There will be 2 processor options, a quad-core Cortex A9 clocked at 1.2 gigahertz and a quad-core Cortex A9 with a clock speed of 1.5 gigahertz, so pretty interesting. You'll get Wi-Fi, front and rear facing camera, and more. Sounds like a relatively solid pad. From likecool.com, BMW has unveiled an electric bike. They're calling it the Cruise. It's sporting a 250 watt electric motor. The bike can power you all the way up to 25 kilometers an hour with a range of 85 kilometers. The motor is designed more to assist you while riding rather than to power you along all by itself. You can pick from Eco Tour, Sport, or Speed Turbo. It weighs in at just 24 kilograms, and they'll not be selling it initially in all markets, with only 1,000 units going on sale in Germany. So you have to be in Germany to get this, but still, I thought it was pretty cool. I'm kind of a sucker for that sort of thing. From Tom's Hardware, I ran across this really awesome article. Compression performance, 7-zip, MagicRAR, WinRAR, and WinZip. We're taking a look at the features, performance, and compression rates of 4 file archiving and compression tools, the free and open source 7-zip, the heavyweight WinRAR, the old school WinZip, and the lesser known MagicRAR. So it's basically a shootout to see which one is the best one for you, depending on what your requirements are. I thought it was an interesting read, and you should definitely check it out too. From Hackaday, they have an article here, DIY Arduino Pro Mini Quadcopter. That's right. Take a look. Let's see here. Yeah. ExecUC took a stock V929 quadcopter and started making some crafty customizations. The main change is the control electronics have been replaced by an Arduino Pro Mini, the 16 megahertz model. He soldered all the modules on a prototyping board, and although admittedly a bit heavy, the little guy takes flight with no problem. I thought it was awesome. Among other details, he's got a magnometer, an accelerometer, gyroscope being used as sensors. A 7.4 volt LiPo battery supplies the power. Brushed motors are controlled by pulse width modulation from a MOSFET with added diodes. So he's planning to swap out the microcontroller for an ARM7 for extra computing power, and needs to play with the PID values to correct a slight problem he seems to be having while rotating. So pretty interesting nonetheless. I thought it was neat. Definitely check it out. From Mashable, Despicable Me 2 trailer features Abduction, Arson, and Eminem. Definitely check this out. I'm a huge fan of Despicable Me, the first movie, and this one looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, so definitely look into it. Also from Hackaday, there's an Ask Hackaday, what movies have the best/worst hacking scenes ever? That's right. This is one of those things. Shoot me an email, geekinator@quickstuff.com, for the movies that you love the most or the worst because of the hacking scenes or the computer usage scenes that they have in them. I definitely have a list of ones that are right up there among the best, and definitely a list of ones where it was like, wow, that really sucked, but it was awesome anyway. So definitely shoot me an email, geekinator@quickstuff.com, with your list and why it makes it on that list, and I might include it here on the next episode. With that, we're running a little long, right about 14 and a half minutes or so. So I will say thanks for staying subscribed. Please do visit us online and subscribe to the show if you have not already done so. And I'll see all of you on the next episode. See you then. Bye.